Welcome to our vlog, and for today's video, we are very excited to share with you our everyday activities as an M12P JRU student. So, without further ado, let's start.
Hi, I'm Ria. Around 8 a.m., we usually start our first subject in Zoom. I check all my modules first so I can plan what I can do after. Be right back, guys. I'll talk to you later. Our class is about to start.
Hi, I'm Brill. So, my first subject is done. While waiting for my second subject to occur, I'm doing some of my activities in my subject due to this week. So, I won't be cramming for this week's activities. So, hop in.
Hey, I'm Bench. After eating lunch and taking a rest, since I have so many hours to spare, I'm just going to do my activities and projects in school. Oh, there's one group activity that we need to watch a film. I know, I sent them a message to our group chat so we can watch it all together.
So, hey guys, we've just finished watching the film.
It's about how did the Pride Month establish. An entrepreneur, media personality, journalist, advocate, and drag queen travel from three different communities which are the Salt Lake City, San Francisco, and Tuscaloosa, Alabama, to look at the different way they celebrate the Pride Month. This film shares the different stories and experiences of every member of LGBTQIA+ had encountered. Also to discover what really pride to young people means 50-year post Stonewall uprising. Rule, do you want to share something as well?
For me, the film was very powerful and it has a lot of information, and you can get some lessons in real life that we can apply. In my personal experience, I tend to encounter discrimination, and I'm thankful that that is the only thing that I encountered. But it's unfortunate for the people of the LGBTQ plus community that they tend to encounter abuse or harassment, and we people shouldn't tolerate that thing. Before we do something to our people or own kind, or let's say just to other people, we should think about it first, because LGBTQ plus community, or every one of us, do have freedom, dignity, emotion, and feelings. So don't tolerate that kind of action, and let's educate ourselves. In my own opinion, the non-peaceful situation occurred because some people may guess that they're weird or freak, and I think that is not normal. And some people were not open-minded in this kind of situation, or they're not open-minded on what they saw in these people. And some people tend to take violence on them, and that's why gay community or LGBTQ plus are encountering non-stop violence, discrimination, and other brutal punishment that they don't deserve. How did these people solve it? The Stonewall riots began during 1969, were a series of spontaneous demonstrations by members of the gay community in response to unequal rights that they're experiencing or encountering. It called to be Stonewall riots, and then it called to be in the present day as the Pride March, where we fight for the rights of the LGBTQ plus community and remember the day it started, which is June 28, 1969. And without further ado, me and my group mates will now discuss and share about the film that we've watched.
Alright, as we tried out another experience from one of our fellow comrades, it seems like being part of or being one of their community is very interesting to explore with. Well, even though religion and LGBTQ community is a complicated one, and everyone experiences it differently, it all depends on how they feel and what they choose. Historically, many Orthodox religions have treated LGBTQ people harshly. However, within nearly every religious denomination, there are now supportive groups or supportive ones that have adopted different interpretations about LGBTQ people, or the so-called state of pride. And that is what the film was trying to pertain to. And I believe that as society shifts that to be more accepting of LGBTQ people or the LGBTQ community, many other denominations are possibly starting to become LGBTQ inclusive as well. That's it. How about you, Rihanna?
Can I just say how great the film was? Of course, I love it. From my perspective, sexual orientation and gender identity are important elements of our identities that should never be discriminated against or abused. I actually feel sad every time I watch or read a story about LGBTQ members who are remains closet because they are afraid of being discriminated against by their family, friends, or the people around them. What I mean is, it's not their fault that they are like that or whatever the gender sexuality is, and it should not be hidden, but it should be embraced since that is who they really are.
I think the film was very good and informative, and I'm gonna share some of my thoughts with you guys about resolving the conflict, the society, and its institutions. I think resolving the conflict is very important because it's the only way that people would feel safe and confident in their own community. In the film, we have seen how the LGBTQ plus community is being discriminated. They have experienced a lot of hate and even threat to their own lives. Not to mention, they were also fighting the demons or voices inside of them because of what other people made them feel. Most of them had suicidal thoughts because they couldn't accept that they were like that and people would hate them for being just themselves. Many of them are not accepted by their family, which adds more to their feelings. In the film, Mormons in Salt Lake City protest so much about people who are part of the community. They keep on advocating that it is a sin and no one should be that way. In some other places, people who are part of the LGBTQ plus community are abused and they are being raided. And these things should not happen because it harms one's physical and mental health. Also, it violates their human rights. So, with all that happening, I think that resolving the conflict of the society and its institutions is very essential because it would make the world a little better and at peace. Let's ask Benj what he thinks about the film.
I completely agree with you, Ria. The film was so powerful, and as a student, being educated about this kind of matter is important to us because it reminds us that despite the differences in identity, these people are still humans like us, and they deserve to be respected, loved, and equally treated. According to Rebecca Demante of the Century Foundation, that educating people about this issue can decrease the prejudice against the LGBTQIA, and it helps people understand their situation more. It's another opportunity to learn more about their identity and to address the misconception that many people have about the LGBTQIA community as a whole. Furthermore, it allows us to be open-minded about the matter and while allowing them to feel that they have a safe space in this world.
Have you come out to your family yet?
I've come out 3 times, but it was not official because the reaction they do not believe that I am part of the community.
Whom did you open up first about your identity? Is it your family or is there any other person?
I first opened my sexuality to my friends because they are more understanding than my family. We are not open. We are not the family who talk about each feelings. We are more on we do not tell how we feel. So I tried to communicate with my friends first before I open up with my parents.
So, have you ever experienced discrimination because of your gender? If yes, how did you handle it?
To be part of the community, it is very evident to be discriminated. What I do is I just try to voice out, and of course, as a citizen, I know my right. For example, kapag pumipila ka and pag nanonotice nila na malambot ka, ganon, parang na ano sila, na ganon. So, ang ginagawa nila is mas skip nila ako ng line. Tapos another example pa is sa comfort room. So, kapag napapansin nilang malambot ka, tapos may kasama kang straight sa comfort room, so they will feel uncomfortable. Parang ganon.
Okay.
Nakakalungkot.
Are you proud of what your sexual orientation is? For the last question.
I am very proud of my sexual orientation because through my sexual orientation, I can express myself more. I can be creative without the judgment of others. And I can love who I love.
So we will now be ending the vlog here, guys, and we hope that you learned something from us. We hope that you were inspired to watch the film. It's good, we promise. See you next time, guys.
Bye!